They were looking around trying to replicate what Elvis did back in the day. And they landed on someone with Elvis-level star power. But for the millennial generation, someone who the media just could not get enough of. And they turned their sights on one musical act who had the power to change and save Las Vegas once again. Do you know who it is?
Oh, baby, baby, how is it supposed to know?
Maybe you guessed it, maybe you didn't. Who saved Vegas? Britney Spears saved Vegas. On September 17, 2013, Britney Spears made an appearance on Good Morning America. She announces to the world that she'll be doing a 2-year concert residency at Planet Hollywood. Title of the show, Piece of Me. Now, when I heard this, I lost my shit. I did. I was like, Britney's going to Vegas, like I could finally see her. I had not seen Britney yet. And that was like the one thing on my bucket list. Like, I want to see Britney Spears, like prime Britney Spears perform. And I hadn't seen it yet. So when I saw this announcement, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to Vegas. Like, because I mean, millions of us saw that and we were like, we're moving to Vegas now until Britney's done. Yes. But Britney herself promised that this would be the show of a lifetime. She said, quote,
"The performances won't be simple. There'll be a massive party from start to finish."
Britney's show was like, well, here's the part that disappoints me. I never got to see the show. I never made it. I went, whatever. But I hear, and what I've seen online, because you could watch the performances on YouTube, which I have. But Britney's show was like this feast for the eyes. I mean, she start the show like,
"You better work, bitch."
And then the audience would just like, we're gonna work, bitch, you know, losing their damn minds. The show was like modern Vegas wrapped in Britney, you know? It wasn't even Vegas, it was just Britney World. It was Britney World, okay? And I have to say though, knowing what we know now, because I read her book, maybe you did too, she did mention in her book that the whole time she was miserable. She was in a conservatorship and how awful it was, which knowing that now is sad because we all thought that she wanted to be there, you know? Thought, idea, let me know down below in the comment section if we should do an episode on conservatorships. That could be interesting. Let me know if you want to see that. Anywho, back to Britney. So Britney, poor Britney, we love her. She did over 140 performances and she sold 900,000 tickets and the show made over $138 million. And that's just on the concert alone. All those Britney fans needed hotel rooms, meals, gambling money, outfits, whatever. So that overall just helped Vegas's economy, right? So to Vegas executives, it was clear that a star like Britney was a key turning point when it came to bringing young tourists to Vegas, which is what they needed. According to Forbes magazine, quote, "Spears' triumph in Las Vegas became a catalyst for a wave of A-list artists to consider Sin City for their own residencies," end quote. After Britney, the other poppies started. The pop stars like Lady Gaga, they followed. Katy Perry, Adele, they were all calling up their managers like, hey, get me on that Britney shit, you know? And Vegas had a wave of huge celebrity residencies. I think it's a great idea. I don't know why people are so against the whole celebrity residency thing. It's nice because if you were a celebrity, it would be nice because you just stay put, you're in a room, you're set up, everything's taken care of, you show up, you perform, and then you're done, and you go home. And like everybody comes to you and you don't have to go to them. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's cool. But also as someone who wants to see them perform, knowing that they're there and they're staying put and not moving to different locations, I think it's nice. Vegas is on this high. They're like, yeah, bring in all these residencies and people are going, whatever. It's doing better. Wow, Vegas, But you know what happens? 2020, March. Yeah. Guess who comes a-knocking? Good old COVID. So Vegas, at this time, they're like doing pretty good. And then March 2020 rolls around and COVID forced casinos and hotels to close. Even after the COVID restrictions were lifted, Vegas, they needed to shapeshift once again. I mean, they had to. They still kept the fancy restaurants. They kept the concerts and all that stuff going. But now they were like, we need to move away from gambling, which I thought was an interesting take. According to Oliver Lavatte, a CEO who tracks Vegas tourist data, well, he said, quote, people aren't coming to Las Vegas to gamble anymore. That older generation above 65 that were coming to Las Vegas to gamble are going somewhere else. I will say, as I've gotten older, and this is just one perspective, I've noticed definitely a decline in people who gamble. I don't know anyone who likes to gamble. All of us think it's just a freaking waste of money, and I think that's the right mindset to have, because you've seen those people who gamble like their whole house away or something, and you're like, what the fuck? I don't want to be that guy. But a lot of us don't really care to gamble. Plus, it's like the money you do have, I'm not gambling that shit. I got $2.45 in my account, okay? No. Vegas is like, okay, now we have to rebrand again, right? So now their focus is on sports. They've tried it all, haven't they? They're really going, just check, I don't know. I admire that. Sports is now their focus. And in order to do this, the execs, they have to tear down what's left of the old Vegas. For example, executives made the decision to tear down the iconic Vegas hotel, the Tropicana. Oh, I get the Tropicana and Flamingo mixed up because it's like kind of the same thing. Anyways, so they want to tear this down so they can build a $1.5 billion Major League Baseball stadium. Because when I think of Vegas, I think baseball, so that makes sense. They're planning on calling this stadium New Las Vegas Stadium. I know, because I was thinking, listen, you go to a sports game. Have you gone to a sports game? I went one time and I regretted it because everyone gets so drunk and sloppy and aggressive, and they're always flushed in the face and loud. Oh, for what? Sorry. So in my mind, I'm like, great. So they're going to put like a stadium there and have all these drunk fans everywhere in a Vegas stadium. Like, I can't imagine that's going to be a good time. Plus, it's hot, 112 degrees. You're going to die. So that's what they're doing. The stadium is supposed to open in the beginning of 2028. So stay tuned for that. Maybe I'm all wrong and it'll be like the best thing ever. Wouldn't it be funny though if like I talk all this shit and then on the opening day of like the baseball, you're watching the baseball game in Vegas and then the camera does like an audience pan and then you just low-key see me there with my beer. Like, wouldn't that be kind of funny? You'd be like, Bailey, you hypocrite. And I'd be like, yeah, well, I never said I wasn't.